morning, Asia. Welcome to the Gratitude Talk Show. It is such a privilege to see all of you here. And today, it's been a week. It's been a month, right, since our last show. Rick, say hi and good morning to Asia.
Good morning, USA. Good evening, Asia. So it's great to be back. It's been a month since our last show.
Yeah, it's great to have all of you here. You know, we are back to Malaysia. We are grounded. You know, how is America? You know, how's the storm affecting you guys?
So it's affecting some of our friends down in the south by Florida. So it's not affecting us much in the Northeast, but definitely the Hurricane Ian is affecting some of our friends, clients, and family members in Florida.
Right. Good to have everybody here. You know, same thing that, hi Fatima, good to see you on the show, you know, and also we have Jocelyn here on the show. Thank you for coming in. It's good to see everybody, you know. It would be great if you guys could just do us a favor and actually share this show to all your friends. Send a WhatsApp or send the link on the Facebook, what do you call this, link to all your friends so that more people can learn. You know, today Rick is going to do something very different. He's going to do a very special topic, you know, and he's going to give you a 20 minutes sharing on business insurance for business owners. So how to plan and how to actually work for businessmen. So this will be something very good for everybody. I'm keen to learn, right, Rick? Can you tell us a little bit about the outline? Just a little bit. Don't give too much, just a little bit. I haven't come to really telling them what are you getting, all right? Just a little bit on what you're going to speak about.
Sure. So today we're going to share with the audience and the members a presentation that we recently had prepared and shared with a room full of business owners. So a little bit about my practice. I do a lot of public speaking, not only on stage for our industry, but I speak at many different conferences, whether it's for hospitals, for companies, for schools. But we recently had a presentation that we did for a room full of business owners. In fact, they were mostly medical doctor business owners. Okay, I don't know how much the audience heard my topic, but I recently did this presentation for a room full of business owners, medical doctors. And the feedback we received was very excellent and very well received. So when Lim and I thought about this topic for all the audience, we wanted to change it up this month. We wanted to prepare a topic that was real live topic that we prepared for business owners, and all of you can learn today.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick, for coming in. I hope that you don't disconnect again, right? So sometimes the line is a little bit freakish. It's okay. So I'm gonna introduce the topic today. The topic today is about how to work with business owners. So ever wonder how at top of the table prospects business clients, right? What is our process in opening and closing business clients? So Rick will actually share with us the whole process from A to Z, how actually he opens and how actually he ends in closing the clients. So I will actually put in some inputs towards that topic for the Asian market so that everybody can learn a bit more. If you guys like us very much and you're watching the show and you think that we add value to you, please share the show to as many people as possible so that more people can actually learn from it. I think some of our audiences, junior practitioners should actually learn and come in and actually learn this. All right, this is a live show. You get to ask questions. The beauty of a live show is that you get to ask questions while we are on the go, and the guy that asks questions, we will pick it up for you, okay? So for some of you who have been on our show for many times, you know the drill, right? We're going to do this for an hour, and then after that, we're going to let you ask questions. So when you ask questions, we'll actually highlight it up so that later on, we're going to take your question and really seriously answer them for you, all right? So let's go, Rick. Would you like to start? Let's start with our 20 minutes sharing and lecture with us.
Sure, let's go.
Okay.
So I'm going to start by sharing my screen.
All right.
Okay, so this current screen, for many of you that are watching, you should see the 3 pillars of planning. So when we work with a business owner, we explain to them When it comes to financial planning, business planning, it actually encompasses three major areas. The left side, we generally draw three circles. The left side is the business planning side. We talk about the business owner's goals. We talk about the timelines that they want to achieve, what's most important. We talk about budgeting for their business. We talk about liability coverage. Unfortunately, oftentimes business owners, at least in America, they commingle their personal assets with their business assets. Now, in our world, at Midas Wealth, our philosophy is different, which we don't want to bring that up. Now, we don't want that to happen, so we always bring it up. And then next is benefits for select key employees. Now, as you think about the business planning side, it intertwines with the personal planning. So on the personal planning, other areas of focus may be retirement solutions, group employee benefits. Now, when it comes to personal planning, so generally business owners have sophistication that we teach. But on the personal planning, these are for everyone. We talk about work-life balance. I always teach people it's not about working hard, but it's about working smart. Cash flow analysis, risk management, insurance planning, and minimizing our clients' risk. Wealth accumulation. It's not only about defense, it's about offense. How can we build active and passive income? And then wealth preservation and distribution. Teaching our clients building their wealth is only half the equation. We teach them on how to distribute the wealth and pay the least amount of taxes. If you do a great job on business planning with intertwined with personal planning, and on the personal planning side, then we teach our clients succession and protection planning. So you will see we teach them about lifetime exit strategies. Why are we building this business? Is the goal to sell the business? Is the goal to give the business to our family members or our key employees? Or is the goal to expand, franchise, and continue to grow? It's very important we have these conversations with our business owners. And then if we do a good enough job on the personal planning and the succession planning, we talk about the business valuation, the buy-sell strategy. And then ultimately on the succession and protection planning, you'll notice we always also teach our business owners about branding. I'll give you a great example. If my company was called Hugh Financial, Lim may want to buy it, but he's not really excited about buying Hugh Financial. So therefore, it's very important we teach our business owners about branding their business and the protection from loss of owners and key employees. By understanding these three major areas of business planning, personal planning, and succession and protection planning, we can truly help our business owners. Now, the next slide, I'm going to go over each and every topic specifically. As you can see, creating actionable timeline, having the right mindset, and it's very important for business owners to understand that we're not only self-employed, but it's about being an entrepreneur and building our business. For many of you, especially advisors, are you building the infrastructure to your business? As you may know, right now, it's around 9 a.m. in New York City, our time. But as I'm doing this presentation with all of you, I have a team of 10 that's servicing our clients. I have a team of 10 that's working and helping our clientele. So it's not about just being self-employed, it's about being an entrepreneur and building a sustainable business. Hiring employees, we help our business owners understanding the importance of recruiting, training, and hiring employees. We teach them about assessing their gross revenue, budgeting their business expense, calculating their net tax bracket. I oftentimes say this, it doesn't matter how much money we make if we don't understand how much we get to keep. So understanding tax bracket is something we also teach business owners. Your hourly revenue. So I did this in a presentation. Let's say our business owner client says, Rick, I want to make $1 million a year. Now the average person works 40 hours a week and 50 weeks a year. So if you take 40 times 50 weeks, that's 2,000 hours. So if a client tells me I want to make $1 million, I divide that by the 2,000 hours. That means they want to make $500 per hour. How often, unfortunately for many business owners, that they're doing $20 an hour work. So for example, if you hire a receptionist, on average, let's say it's $20 an hour. You hire an office manager, let's say it's $50 an hour. Let's say you hire a business partner or you hire another more senior manager level, it might be $150 an hour. But if you're looking to make $1 million, you need to focus on $500 an hour revenue work. So it's very important. purchasing a commercial space as a landlord. We not only teach our business owners build their business, but there's a lot of value to buy the business building that they occupy. So if they're renting right now as a tenant and have a lease, we teach them about building their revenue in their business account so that eventually they can buy their own commercial real estate. Applying depreciation and deductions. I know in Asia, your tax laws and the US tax laws are very different, but in the US, we teach our business owners tax strategies with real estate, such as depreciation and deductions, investing in their business, scaling up. Sometimes businesses get to a certain level and they're at maximum capacity. They should hire more employees. They should invest in more equipment. They should invest in a bigger space. There's so many things a business have gotten to a certain level and hit that maximum capacity, and they need to scale up. But business owners may or may not have the confidence and the clarity on how to scale up, and that's our job as their advisor to teach them. And then, of course, determining what percentage of profit to keep and what percentage to invest. I believe it's very important for all of us as advisors and business owners to understand our margin, right? I know there is a saying in our industry, you might hear this at MDRT. The average advisor keeps 70% of the revenue and spend 30% of the revenue to their business. I believe if you spend less than 30%, you're possibly at maximum capacity and you might burn out, or your team may not be compensated and they might be burned out. So at our firm, we believe of not spending, keeping 70 and spending 30, we believe of spending possibly 40 and higher. So if I look at my profit margin right now, I'm probably in the 45%, 50% range. So it's very important to teach our business owners understanding what's their margin. Now, that's just our industry. There are many industries have a 70-30, 60-40 model. And in the restaurant industry, it's actually the opposite. We have many restaurant owners that make $1 million, but their expenses on food and cost is 80%, 800,000, and they only keep 200,000. Those are margins we have to teach our business owners. And then finally, benefit planning. Think about it. When we are W-2, when we're employed, many companies offer us healthcare, offer us retirement, offer us insurance planning through the company as I'm an employee. But when we become self-employed, it's our responsibility as the business owner to buy those benefits or acquire those benefits on our business side. And I oftentimes think about this, and I said this in a presentation. When I was in my early 20s and I was working and hiring people, most people just care about their income and their lifestyle. But when you get to a certain age, like me today, I'm in my late 30s, I don't only care about income and lifestyle. Many of our clients or many of our business owners, when they're hiring people, employees care about retirement planning. They care about healthcare. They care about benefits. Because if today I'm in my late 30s and I'm married with 3 kids and I join a company and there is no health insurance, I would not join the company. Even if they pay me more, but they don't offer me healthcare, I will not join a business. So therefore, it's very important to help our business owners understand how to be competitive in their marketplace. Now, when it comes to personal planning, this is the ideas and the strategies. As you can possibly see on my screen, and I hope you can because I'm just teaching right now, what you'll notice is on the personal planning, there's expense and budget sheets. I oftentimes teach our business owner clients or I teach advisors. See, one of the biggest fears and scary part about being a business owner is the volatility and the fluctuation of our income. If we can remove that emotional roller coaster, then our business can thrive. As an example, if I was starting a business, before I even started business, I would do what is called a budget sheet. I need to understand on my personal level, what is my fixed and discretionary expenses? So for simple math, if my mortgage, if my rent, if my food expense, if all my credit card and lifestyle at the minimum is $5,000 a month, teach a business owner to do is pay yourself first. So even if a business makes $20,000 a month, I would teach our business owner to pay yourself possibly $6,000. Why $6,000, not the whole 20? Is because keep the $14,000 in the business account and pay yourself a salary such as $6,000. $5,000, we can put it to pay our minimum fixed expenses, and the $1,000 can go into our bank account just so that we build a habit of savings. But let's say the next month, if we make $20,000, $6,000 go to us, the business account has $14,000. Let's say the next month, the business only brings in $2,000.
But guess what? I will still be able to pay myself 6,000 because the business has 14,000. So even if the next month is not making 20,000, the business only make 2,000. That 2,000 plus the original 14,000 of surplus is 16,000. I will still pay myself 6,000 and have the 10,000 in there. And let's say the third month I make no money in the business. That's okay because I still have 10,000. I'll pay myself 6,000. I'll have 4,000 in there. And then the fourth month, let's say I make 30,000. Then guess what? I'll still pay myself 6,000 and the extra 24,000 stay there. So it's very important. Just like when we are working for someone, we get a fixed salary. As a business owner, get into the habit of paying yourself a salary so psychologically it doesn't impact your emotions. So full transparency, at my company right now, I pay myself a salary. I don't know how much money I make on average every month, and I don't really care because all that revenue goes into our business. And then the business actually pays me a fixed salary every single year. And at the end of 12 months or every quarter, I will look at my revenue, I will look at my expenses and my cash flow analysis, and I determine, do I give myself a raise or do I not give myself a raise? And should I actually invest more in the business? It's very important. So it's about paying yourself first. Then as long as, and here's the thing, when you're a business owner, I teach a lot of new startup business owners, do not tell me about how much money you want to set aside for shopping. Do not tell me about how much you want to set aside for vacation, for travel. Because if you're a true business owner, when you first start a business, it's very important that we focus on the business. So therefore, we want to cover our basic necessities, which are food, shelter, and like clothing. And then by reducing our volatility and risk with the personal bills cover, I really do believe businesses don't have to have that fear and anxiety of uncertainty with their income. And then managing our personal debt, home mortgage, student loans, vehicle financing. We teach our business owners about real estate, primary home purchase, vacation home purchase, and on personal planning, it could be children education, retirement planning, estate and legal planning. And then we help to teach them how to strive and create a work-life balance. I think as an advisor, it's not only important that we help our clients make money, but we teach our clients the work-life balance. I also teach our clients how to find happiness, how to find more time, and to enjoy the things that they're most important in their life. Because when clients work with us, they're hiring us to solve their problems. And their problems may not just be with the products we do, they might need to talk to us about other problems. So it's very important that we teach our business owners all aspects of life, living their fullest life. And then finally, succession and protection planning. As you'll see on this screen, we teach our business owners limited liability company. So in America, there's different type of structures on how to build a business. We teach them about something called umbrella insurance. This may or may not be applicable in Asia. We teach them how to brand their company, market, and how to name their business. We teach them about business valuation. As they grow the business, we teach them how to value their business so that in the future, if they want to sell their business, they want to franchise their business, or they want to sell equity to their employees, they understand it. And we teach them about buy-sell agreement. If they have business partners, they need to understand the structure of their business. And then franchising and scaling. We have some businesses that we work with that they're scaling and franchising many locations, and they should. We have some business owners that we meet for the first time, and they have multiple locations and they franchise, and after talking to them, they should not. Every business owner is different. It depends on our complexity of the business. It depends on our time. So we teach them about expansion, additional locations, marketing strategies, satellite locations. Are they able to clone themselves? I think when you're building a business and you want to have multiple locations, you must have a great, strong team, right? If you want to go, there's a saying, you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go far, it's about building a strong team. We teach them about how to build mentees, partnering. Second location, is it the right time or not? Second, current location, is at maxed out capacity? Does the current location generate enough consistent revenue to fund all the locations? And we teach them about company culture. I literally have shared with some of our business owners saying, hey, at Midas Wealth, we actually go on a team trip every single year. We actually go on multiple trips, but like in January or December of this year, I'm taking our entire team, and it's their choice, either to Aruba or Mexico. Many of you that are watching the show probably remember early this year or last year, I took our entire team to Dominican Republic. So it's about building a culture. Even last night, one of our teammates are moving back to their hometown. I took our entire team to dinner, drinks, and happy hour. It's very important that not only do we have fun and enjoy our team and building that culture. And then when it comes to succession planning, you'll see here are some of the personal questions that we ask our business owners. Here are some of our succession questions. we ask our business owners. Here's some of the financial questions we ask our business owners. Here's some of the risk management questions we ask our business owners. And then finally, we teach them about stakeholders. Are my family comfortable with my exit plan? What is the overall goal of the business? And then finally, here's a list for budgeting and operation. We teach our business owners management of their books, cash flow and expenses, profit and loss statement. For many of you that are advisors in Asia, do you know what a profit and loss statement? I don't care if we're in USA or in Asia. I think any business needs to know what their profits and loss are. Capital improvements and equipment. Some business owners ask me, hey, Rick, does it make sense for me to buy this equipment? So I actually just had a session with a client. She says, hey, Rick, I'm looking to buy a new car and use my business to write it off as an expense. Should I buy and upgrade this car? Then when I asked them more question about their business, I said to them, no, you should not buy this new car. They're like, why not? I said, because you don't even have health care for your employees. You don't even have health care for your employees. So buying a car for your business, in my humble opinion, depending on the type of the business and the size of the business, is probably number 5 step to take. It's very important. You get health care for your employees. You have a retirement plan for you and your business before you think about upgrading to a BMW. That's just an example. I was like, I don't care if you have a Toyota, a Honda, whatever car, but you should not be buying these company cars when you haven't even done the first 2 steps for your business. So we teach that. We also teach our clients about capital improvement equipment, credit applications. Remember, as a business owner, having access to capital is very important. Funding options, understanding profit margins of all our products and services. I said this at a presentation. I don't know if you guys have this in Asia, but there's a company in America called Costco. Costco, they have a rotisserie chicken, and you can Google this. They lose millions of dollars a year selling their rotisserie chicken. They underprice their chicken. But the reason why they're willing to lose millions of dollars a year selling their rotisserie chicken is that they put the rotisserie chicken in the back of their store. So you and I will go through everything in the store, and most people don't just go to Costco to buy a rotisserie chicken. They buy all the other things that they buy. So because they're willing to lose money on a product, they make millions on the other products. So that's something for everyone to understand. Payroll management and hiring and training. And then finally, I think in our last slide, which we share with our business owners, is points to consider for your business valuation. First is the form of ownership. In the USA, there's S Corp, there's C Corp. Some clients, we noticed in their tax return, they have an S Corp when based on their revenue and their expenses, they should be a C Corp. Some clients, we noticed they have a C Corp, but they don't really have much revenue or expenses. In fact, they should be an S Corp. So we teach our business owners the form of ownership they should be. Partnership, sole proprietor, their tax identification number to separate their personal and their business. And then owners and percentage of ownership. So we have business owners that have multiple partners. We teach them on how to scale. And what do you think of businesses work today? We teach them about adjusted book value, owner's estimate, EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Very important in the USA for business owners to understand. We teach them about their financials, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow, appraisal, census. And then finally, are they personally guaranteeing their company obligation and liabilities? Some business owner says, hey, Rick, I need $100,000 to keep my business afloat the next 3 months. Then they said, I don't know where to get the money. Then I asked them on their personal, do they own their property? I do. I have no debt. We teach them how to use their personal assets to have access to capital for their business, or vice versa. Sometimes it makes sense. But we recently had a business owner ask me, Rick, should I invest in this restaurant? After looking at this type of restaurant valuation, I said, no. The restaurant is losing a lot of money. In fact, I don't think it's a good idea. So we teach business owners many different important goals and objectives. And then what annual rate of return do they think their business is going to grow? We teach them about employees and infrastructure, number of full-time, management, non-management, how many of them are just contract workers, 1099s. And then finally, how do we retain and reward our team? So employee benefits include group health, group life, disability, long-term care, retirement planning, and career planning, and other advancement. That is it. I know I went a lot. I know I said 20 minutes. I don't know if you guys even saw this because I couldn't see the screen.
We saw it. We saw it. We saw it.
Okay. I went 20 minutes without breathing. So,
no problem.
But now, watching, you understand what my presentations are like. When I go into a business, when I go into a room, and I don't just talk about motivation, I talk about technical, fundamental skills and how to grow and scale a business. We have some business owners that makes, when we first met them, maybe $1 million or $2 million a year. And today they're making hundreds of millions a year. It's very important to teach our business owners all aspects. on their business planning, on their personal planning, and their succession planning.
So, Rick, great session. The only problem is that you went a bit fast. So I think some of our audience might not be able to get the real gist of what you're trying to say. Okay, so we are open for some questions if any of you needs to ask Rick this process. So I heard that from the various process that you move on, right, to for business owners, you are not just doing insurance, right? You're actually trying to do proper financial planning for the business, right, Rick? Am I right?
100%. There are some business owner clients, we don't do any insurance planning because they don't need it. We teach them about investment planning. We teach them about taxation. We teach them about real estate. We teach them about how to scale and grow their business. We recently onboarded a business owner client that said, Rick, here's my areas of problems and concern. And you know what? We realized the products that we can offer may or may not be applicable and helpful. So instead, we engage in a advice-only hours. There are many ways you can work with a business owner.
Okay, just now something snapped. The system is not too stable. I think we're going to cut short the show for, say, half an hour. Let's just try to do it for another half an hour. Yeah. So I'm just worried the system is not too stable today. I don't know why. But anyway, let's just do. So as you are saying that you don't even sell policies sometimes to business owners, right? So tell us the process of you doing this lengthy process of financial planning, right? When do you come in to actually do protection for them?
So whenever I meet a business owner for the first time, I ask them a lot of questions. Remember, it's about how well you listen and ask good questions to discover and understand your business. Yeah. Right? Where our business owner clients are and where they want to be, it's our job to find out how to fill in all the blanks. So after we ask them these important questions, a next step, depending on how complex and how holistic the business owner wants us to help and find them solutions, we ask them for their tax return. So one of my team member who's a CFP and another team member who has an MBA, we receive tax returns from business owners and we analyze, review all the details of their tax return. After reviewing everything, at our second meeting, we build a business owner a huge financial plan and proposal. I might say, hey, Lim, based on everything we discussed, here's some ideas. Number one, I'd like you to save money to buy the building for your business. Number two, I want you to possibly hire more employees. Number three, I want you to include and increase benefits. So that's when we say some of the employees that you're working with right now, the ones that you're telling me are younger in age, they may not find it important. But didn't you just tell me that your current manager just got married and gave birth? He or she might be thinking about healthcare. I think it's very important that you have healthcare benefits. Also, you told me you want to hire more doctors to join your medical practice. Now think about it. At the hospital, those doctors have a retirement plan. In America, it's called a 401k or 403b, but your business do not have it. So if you're going to pay me $200,000 US a year to be a doctor at your practice, but the hospital also pay me $200,000 a year and give me a retirement plan and all these benefits, your business proposition to these doctors, you probably can't recruit them. So what you have to do is either you have to pay them more money, not pay them $200,000, pay them $250,000 or $300,000, or you have to pay them the $200,000, but you have to give them better benefits. So then we talk about what benefits to add on for business owners to recruit and retain employees. So what it really means is we ask a lot of great questions, understand our business owners' goals, concerns, and objectives. Then we analyze everything about them. Then we come back in our recommendation meeting and build them a plan. And we come up with all these different solutions to help them achieve their goals.
All right, there's this question. I'm just gonna put it up. Okay.
Sure.
So it's a bit big, so I'm just gonna put it beside my face. It's okay. So it says, "Hi Rick, thanks for sharing. How do you handle HR manager and accounts manager and etc. besides the business owner?" Let's just take the first question.
Great. To answer that question, generally when I'm meeting a business owner, let's just say I say, Lim, now that we've been through this process, here's the financial plan. Here were some of your goals, your objectives, and concerns. Here's our strategies and solutions to help you achieve everything that's important in your life. Now, because you're a business owner and you're extremely busy, if possible, I want to take away all these hard responsibilities off your plate. My job is to make your life easier. Some of the people that we work with for business owners is their HR manager, is their bookkeeper, is their CFO, their COO. Would you like us to work directly with them instead of working with you to help take these plans and these strategies and execute? And then the business owner would just introduce us to the HR manager, because I'll give you a great example. At Midas Wealth, we have 401ks, we have healthcare, we have a lot of benefits for all our employees. Do you think I was the one that sat there and then like, okay, let's do this, 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 this? Absolutely not. My team did that, right? As the CEO of the company, I should only do things that I believe CEOs should do. Unless it's a very small business, then maybe the business owner is the office manager, is the receptionist. In reality, most business owners that we're working, they have so many employees, they're scaling, they're delegating. That's where I see successful businesses.
Right, great. So I have a question for you, Rick. So let us just finish the question from Michael. Michael asked, does business owners push the responsibilities and said responsibility convince my manager and we will do business with you? I can't really understand the question. Let me understand it in an Asian context. Okay?
I understand the question.
You understand the question?
Michael,
can you rephrase the question so that you understand the question? Yeah.
I think what Michael is asking is,
Michael, yeah.
Rick, if I meet a business owner and I do this financial plan and proposal to the business owner says, I'm really busy. Why don't you do this? Go talk to my HR manager or my account manager, and you convince them that this makes sense, and we'll do business with you.
Right.
That's what I'm assuming Michael is saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Michael,
that's the right question, yeah.
In my 15-year career, maybe my first month, because I asked the wrong questions to a business owner, but I never remember a business owner ever doing that to me. Think about it. Think about it. What the hell does that mean? If a business owner says, hey, you go talk to my HR manager to convince them why this makes sense, then I'll do business with you. I'm not convincing no one. Remember, I'm not a salesman. If a business owner says, I want to hire more employees. Oh my God, I have a medical practice. Right now we have 3 doctors, but we have so many patients that are waiting 2-3 months to come in. I need at least 10 doctors. And so I say, well, Lim, I know you want to hire more doctors. How can we help you hire more doctors? It's like, well, some of the doctors, when we meet them and interview them, they ask me if I have any benefits, and I don't. Rick, can you come up with benefits to help me hire more people? I say, sure. I will make your medical practice more competitive, and here's the ideas. Number one, you're underpaying your doctors. You can't pay them $100,000 when the hospital will pay them $200,000. So I'll teach them skills, strategies, and techniques. Number two, the hospital is giving them a 403B. They're giving them healthcare. They're giving them all these benefits. You give them nothing. Number three, the hospital is giving them work-life balance. You're not. So I had to teach the business on all these things. And then they're like, wow, Rick, this makes a lot of sense. And I say to the business owner, if you execute some of these strategies, it will probably make it a lot easier for you to hire more employees. Would you like me to help you execute them? Yes. I'm not convincing them to implement these plans. I'm just helping them solve their problem of unable to hire more doctors. Think about that, because I think you're focusing on the wrong thing. And then if they go, okay, Rick, go talk to my HR manager, convince them to set these benefits. You know, I say to the business owner, I'm not convincing your employee. You convince your employee if you just do it. Because here's the thing. Once again, Michael, scarcity and abundant mentality. The most successful business owners are not asking me to convince their employees, right? I'll give you a great example. When I decided to give 401k, healthcare, retirement planning, everything to my employees and my teammates, my coworkers, imagine my benefit provider says, Rick, who should I convince to do it? I was already convinced as the CEO that I need to do these. I just tell my team members, I say, hey, talk to Principal Financial to set up our 401k. Talk to Emblem Health, United Healthcare to set up the healthcare for every employee. That's it. If the business owner tells me to convince their HR manager, I'll tell you this, you did a bad job in the fact finding and you weren't listening or you weren't asking good questions. That's it.
Yeah, Rick, there's some feedback from the audience. You're talking a bit too much. Sorry. You're talking a bit too fast. You're talking at the speed of the American. Sure. Remember, these are Asians. Right.
I just did a presentation yesterday for American business owners.
Yeah.
You know their speed is higher. I'll slow down.
Okay, you have to slow down because some of them is WhatsApping me and saying, Rick is talking too fast. We can't catch what you're saying. Right, thank you. So my question for you, Rick, I have this question for you now. What you do is actually raise your role from a financial planner to basically a CFO. You are helping them to plan their business, right? Am I right?
100%. 100% right.
So that leads to the
In
next
fact,
question.
When we become the CFO for a business owner who's a CEO, they super appreciate us, and our team probably is even more qualified than most CFOs in a firm. So we teach them all these things. The one thing is they don't have to pay us a CFO salary. They do not pay us a CFO salary, but they have a top of the table MDRT group, a team of 10 to service, help solve their problems. So yes, it's not about you being an insurance agent. It's not about you being an investment advisor. It's about you being the planner. But if you elevate yourself to be the trusted CFO for the CEO of a business, that's when you win.
So that's a bit mind-boggling for me, I'm trying still to figure out how to be a financial planner from an insurance advisor to a financial planner. But now you're saying that we are going forward, and actually acting as a CFO for small businesses. Huh?
Correct.
Yeah? All right.
Correct.
That leads to the next question.
Our industry is changing. Our industry is changing. If you think you're just good enough by being good at one area, then here's the thing, you're replaceable. It's very important for us to continue to evolve and elevate and level up and get better. You know what? I just recently, this week, did a complete real estate analysis for one of our clients who's a business owner. They were thinking about buying a real estate building for their business. They showed us a few locations, and we told them out of all their locations, this is the one that we think is a good one to invest in. And here's why. You not only need to be good at insurance, investments, taxes, retirement planning, you also need to be good at real estate. You also need to be good at college education planning. So if you were to ask me, what is it that we do? I probably advise our clients in over 30 areas of financial planning. I know when I talk about this to your audience, it might scare them. It might overwhelm them. You won't get there overnight. But I promise you, if you take time to learn, to grow, and teach yourself, you will get there eventually.
Now, so that leads you to the next question. Does what you do require some academic qualifications to be like you? Or is it through experience? This is a question from Kim Fang. Kim Fang is our current Malaysian country chair. She's the one that is going to invite you to Malaysia. Yeah.
Sure. So, great question. I do believe over time, many of the people in the audience, I truly believe it's very important to constantly, every year, to read, learn, and invest in your business. Like I'm reading marketing strategies. I'm learning about social media. Rick, why are you learning about social media? I'm learning about this for my business owner clients that ask me a lot of questions about marketing and social media. I'm also learning about this for me, myself, and what we're looking to build when it comes to growing our practice. But I think every year, myself personally, I spend hundreds of hours on continuing education. I spend hundreds of hours on reading books, learning about financial literacy and topics. And not only me, my team of 10 do. So if you think about it, if I have 10 people investing over 100 hours a year, that's 1,000 hours of new learning. And that's how we teach. So on my team, we have people that have CFAs, CFPs, MBAs, right? And I hire really, really smart people, surround my team with to better serve our clients. And for many of you that don't have a CFA, CFP, MBA, do joint work with people that do. Do joint work or hire people that have those. And I know it comes back to the first question, Rick, I just started out in my first or second year, my third year, I'm an MDRT person, but I don't have enough revenue to hire someone. Then it's not an expense problem, it's an income problem, right? The only reason, my first year, of course, I didn't hire a CFP, CFA, MBAs, right? Because in my first year, I didn't make that type of revenue. But I work really, really hard and really smart to get to a revenue where I can afford to hire. And my goal is, although we're a team of 10, in 3 years, we're going to be a team of 20. In 8 years, we're going to be a team of 30. I'm going to build an enterprise where there's 30 people on my team. And guess what? Whether I'm in the office or not in the office, those 30 people will still do probably 10x, 20x TOT, right? Because remember, I'm not self-employed. I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner. So I need our audience to understand that.
All right. So let's go to the next one. I have a bit of an input to what Rick says. Rick, for the benefit of the Asian market, for the Asian audience, could you exaggerate a little bit more on insurance advising for business owner through your model? In which part of your model that the insurance advising will come into effect? How do you actually open an insurance advising
opportunity?
Opportunity with a client. Yeah.
So I normally, my process is very educational based, focused, but it's always about asking the right questions. I think for many advisors, they're unable to connect with a business owner and become that trusted advisor is because they're asking the wrong questions. So I ask very important questions. I say, tell me about your business. How can I help your business grow? And then they tell us what are their goals, their concerns, and everything. And then I ask them questions. Well, currently, I know you started your business 5 years ago. What benefits do you have at your business? Rick, what do you mean? Do you have healthcare? Do you have retirement? Do you have long-term disability, short-term disability? Do you have umbrella insurance? I ask these very important questions. And they're like, why do you ask these questions? I said, because I work with hundreds of business owners. Did you know that most of the business owners we work with, when I first met them, they didn't have it. Now they do. Or many of the business owners that are successful that I meet, they already have those. I just need to teach these business owners to not think small, but to think big, right? Because if you could build, why would you want to build $1 million business when you could build a $10 million? Why would you build a 10 million when you could build 100 million? Why would you build 100 million when you could build $1 billion business? All right. Think about all these big companies out there. They all have it. So a great example, I work with a supermarket owner, Asian supermarket owner in America. Guess what? They have no 401k. They have no health insurance for their employees. And they have like 200 employees. And I said, do you have high turnover? They say, yes. Well, why do you think that's the case? And then they're like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, do you know that your business model right now is so old school, 20, 30 years ago, that doesn't work? You pay your employees mostly cash, doesn't work, right? This is like 20, 30 years ago model. Today, employees, or today, people are watching, getting financial advice on Instagram and TikTok, right? I truly believe as an insurance professional or investment professional, your biggest competition is not the other insurance, investment, financial companies. Your biggest competition is Instagram, TikTok, because everyone, YouTube, the internet, everyone can learn and read. Now, the problem about today versus 30 years ago when I was born, 30 years ago, there was a lack of information. There was no internet. Today, there was too much information, right? With the internet, we have a computer basically on our hand, which is our phone. But the problem is we can't determine what is right information, good information, and what's bad information. So it's very important for all of us to learn all this, to teach our business owners. But generally, I just teach business owners, hey, I know you're a $10 million business. In order for you to get to a $100 million business, here's some of the things that my business owners that are $100 million business have. Do you think this is helpful for your business? And they would say, yeah, Rick, actually, I have health insurance through my spouse's company, but my 100 employees, some of them may not have any health insurance. And if you're a successful business owner, and I truly believe this, it's about being generous and it's about being grateful. So the reason why I have healthcare and I spend tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands, I don't know these numbers, in healthcare, retirement benefits, and other benefits for my employees, because I care about them. I love them. All right. Think about it. We're helping thousands of families like achieve financial independence and freedom. I don't take care of my own team. I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. So therefore, I have these benefits, and my business owner clients know that my company is a successful company, and they just say, Rick, teach me how to be successful. So I don't know if I answered that question, Len, of how to open the case, but I just generally ask good questions, find out what their goals, their concerns, what their needs are. Then I fill in all the blanks, and I teach them.
So Sadiq Dirani says English is not our first question. You did slow down. Thank you, Rick. Right. All of my friends were sending me SMS and saying, oh, good, slowing down. All right. So the next question, the next question is this from Fatima. What kind of tools do you need to help customers understand whether their goals can be achieved? Can you tell a bit more about that?
Sure. I think to be a real, amazing, intelligent advisor for your clients, one of the most important things is credibility and honesty. If a business is making $1 million a year and they say, I want to make $1 billion next year, I'm going to say, sure, I will try my best to help you. Then I ask them good questions to see if it's realistic or not. I have clients that are 35 years old. And they say, Rick, I want to retire by 45. And I say, tell me what you're doing to get there. And then when they answer all my questions, I said, you will not retire at 45. I tell them the truth. They're not going to get there. So what tools do I have that I need to know to teach our business owners? I think it comes down to one answer: experience, knowledge, and education. But I don't know. To me, and it's kind of crazy, but because I've been doing this 15 years and I've had over 20,000 meetings in my lifetime. So like something that's very complicated, to me, most problems are very easy. But I think it's based on experience. I think it's based on reading, learning, and education. But those are the tools that I use to solve problems. But to me, a lot of it's math problems. I'll give you an example. I have a client that says, I want to retire by 60, and they're like 45. And I said, how much money are you saving or investing in your retirement plan? And they give me a number. Then I put it into and I show them. I said, oh, this is how much you're saving, investing, putting away. And here's a financial calculator, averaging 8 to 10% return. Do you think that's realistic? They're like, yeah, that's very realistic. From 45 to 60, this is how much you're investing. Yes. This is how much we should anticipate the rate of return. Yes. Yes. And this is how much you're saving or investing every single month from now to then, right? Yes. Here's your number. And then it comes out to, let's just say it comes out to $1 million. And they said, I want $20,000 a month when I retire at 60, having $1 million of asset. And then I reverse engineer. I use a financial calculator. I say $1 million averaging 5%, let's just say, because when we're younger, we can average 8 to 10%. But when we're older, 60, most people take less risk. So we're averaging 5. $1 million, 5% is $50,000 a year. You tell me you want $20,000 a month, which is $240,000 a year. So I simply say, fail, you will not retire. That's it, right? It's just basic math. And then business owners are like, oh my God, you're right. And I say, you just didn't understand. Because most people that try to solve a problem, they just don't have the clarity, the confidence, the conviction to understand it. So what we do is tell me what your goal is and tell me where you are. And then I use math, science, data, history, technical and fundamental analysis. And I just say, pass or fail. If they're going to pass, what percentage likelihood of success and achievement? And if they're going to fail, I'll tell them. And then they're like, well, I don't want to fail. Then I said, this is what you need to do to be different. You need to save more, invest more. You need to spend less. We teach them all those things.
Right. So, Rick, I have one question for you. For a business owner who tells you that he doesn't want to retire, he loves his job so much, he wants to be there until he dies, and he doesn't want to plan to save much money, he's going to enjoy life throughout, and he's going to buy a lot of life insurance. If anything happens to him, he's going to pass this money to his kids, and the business pass it down on to them. How do you answer that? I do have one client or two clients actually says that to me. They basically love their job, small businesses, handicraft, artists, that kind of thing. What do you say about that?
Great. I agree with them first, right? It's never about being subjective, it's about being objective, right? Lim, you could tell me I want to retire in 5 years. You could tell me you never want to retire. I will always respect what you share with me. But then I just ask them more questions. I say, sure, Lim, I know right now that's your goals, focus, and objective, and I believe you can achieve that. But can I know a little bit more about your background? And you might say, well, why? I said, because you sound a lot like me 10 years ago. Let me explain. When I was in my 20s, I thought I would never retire. I could run. And honestly, I used to work 100 hours a week. And then at 31 years old, I coughed blood at work. I had an ulcer. And then my wife was pregnant with our first child. And you guys heard this story before. She wanted to divorce me after 6 months because I wasn't spending enough time with my wife and my children. And today, the way I think at 37 versus the way I think when I was 27 and the way I think when I was 17 are all very different. So tell me about yourself. And then if they tell me their whole, like not just their financial, their business and their lifestyle goals, they tell me about their personal life, then I would say, you're absolutely right. Based on the fact that you will never get married, the fact that you'll never have a spouse, you'll never have children, never have other responsibility, I think your goals in life will never be impacted or influenced by others. But because if your world is not just you, but there's so many other the areas, then your world will change. A perfect example is my father. My father used to think he's going to work 7 days a week. Guess what? When he had grandchildren, he never slowed down when he had me, but he slowed down when he saw his grandchildren. So now my father every weekend says, hey, I'm not working on the weekends. Bring your kids over. I want to play with them, right? But I just want you to know, as life changes, right, the world, we can't guarantee what the future looks like. But as life changes, I just want to prepare you for what those moments when they change. So you have flexibility and optionality. But if they say they never want to retire, they want to work every day, that sounds a lot like Steve Jobs' book when he talked about it. You know, when Steve Jobs wrote his book, and I read it, it's back there, he talked about one of his biggest regret was not having the relationship he wished he had with his wife and his daughter. Why? Because when we're younger, we're focused certain ways. But when we get to that end of life, I promise you, your thought process may change.
Thank you, Rick. So one question from MJ, it says that what advice would you give to a new agent who are just starting out without any credentials? Maybe you want to do that first, and then I will add to that for a Malaysian context. Yeah.
Sure. If I was a new agent like 15 years ago, my biggest advice is learn. Now, you might say, we're just starting, we don't have many credentials. You could pick up a book and start reading, right? You could read 100 books, but reading 100 books starts with the first book and the first page. Pick up. Then people say, I don't have enough time. It's not that you don't have time, it's that you don't have priorities and you don't know how to time your schedule to be obsessive about learning. But a really, really easy way to learn is from others. The enemy of learning is thinking you know it all. You don't know how many people I meet have no humility. They think they know it all. And when I meet someone like that, after talking to them for like 5 minutes and I could tell that it's like talking to a wall, I walk away because I don't need that type of negativity in my life. Because if you think you know it all, you're a different type of person. But I would just say, MJ, there are senior agents, there are experienced advisors in your office, in your company and community. Take them out to lunch, go out to dinner with them, pick their brain, right? Go to a meeting and learn, right? You don't know how many new agents I say, hey, did you go to your company training? And they're like, oh, it's too far. Oh, it's I don't have time. I have a client meeting. That's BS to me. Mm-hmm. It's not just investing in the business, it's investing on the business. It's very important, investing on the business. So like next week, I'm going to a 2-day learning session about about medical benefits and disability benefits that are changing. There are insurance companies that are changing their products and their definition for disability insurance. I'm going to these different training to learn about it so that I'm better prepared to service my clients. So it's not just about in the business, it's about on the business. But MJ, whatever you don't know, I promise you there are other people that probably already know it. Just learn from your senior agents and your other, maybe your mentor, maybe your coach, maybe your agency director.
Yeah, my take on this question is, MJ, any advice you give any agents just starting without many credentials, I would say, as what Rick says, send them to as many insurance seminars as possible. Of course, take example like this, the Gratitude TalkShow is helping your people to actually grow. And send them to Malaysian MDRT Day, And do you know that MDRT Malaysia has a YouTube channel with 400 videos, 350 speakers, 10 years of MDRT Day content that your people can actually listen and learn from. So Google MDRT Malaysia YouTube, and you'll find this channel. Like us, subscribe to us, and you can learn unlimited, what do you call these, ideas from all of us. So, but however, funny enough, of all the marketing work that we did, the YouTube channel does gain some traction, but it's not being used as often as it is. So a lot of times I think we as leaders did not encourage our people often enough to actually guide them to learn. So let me put it another way, is this: we as leaders ourselves don't learn enough. We as leaders ourselves sometimes did not show the example that you should keep on learning. How could your people below you, emulate that? So I think as leaders ourselves, we should, put in the effort to learn and grow. So go to as many seminars you can, come to as many workshop as you can. But most importantly, I urge all of you is when you are driving every day. I think everyone gets in a traffic jam, right? Rick, you get in a traffic jam. Everybody gets in a traffic jam every day. So what do you do within that hour when you got into the traffic jam? Do you actually listen to radios, or do you actually watch some funny YouTube channels, or pranking people? Or are you watching the Malaysian MDRT Facebook channel or YouTube channel and learn an idea, 2 ideas, 3 ideas every day from those channels? If that one idea that you learn on your way to an appointment helps you to close a case, or even strike or raise a curiosity from a client, that is worth the time spending on that YouTube channel, right, for that 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So learn something every day. So ask your agents, start learning. An agent who stops learning will start dying. I've seen many of them this way. They stop learning, they start dying, they die a slow death. So keep your agents learning. That is why the insurance industry is one of the best industry in the world that keeps sharing ideas and keep sharing good processes within the community. That's what I like about MDRT, and that's what I like about this community. So learning is very important. So YouTube Malaysia, MDRT Malaysia, a little bit of advertisement time.
Sure. Yeah, so...
And you find Rick there. Also, Rick spoke to us 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. When I drive, I never listen to the radio, listen to music. That's why when people say, what's your favorite song? Embarrassing enough, I don't really know much artists, music, songs. Like, you don't listen to music? I was like, no. In fact, when I drive, I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to Blinkist. I'm listening to books. I'm listening to very important content. Good example, yesterday when I was driving, I was watching, well, I wasn't watching, I was driving, but I was listening to a YouTube show about the 3 questions that you should ask yourself before you partner with someone in a business. And I thought it was incredible that I even called my team. I pulled over and I called my team and I said, hey team, write these questions down. Number 1, before you invest with someone, it's the Navy SEAL question. Would you die for this person, or would this person die for you? Number 2, would you trust this person with your spouse? And number 3, if you were, this is the Warren Buffett question, if you were a Holocaust survivor during the Holocaust, would this person that you're going to start a business with, would they let you in? They were incredible questions. And then I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I've invested in other people's business that failed me, right? I've invested in other businesses that failed me, because now that I think about the business owner that I invested in, they did not pass those 3 questions. But if Lynn
asked me, would you invest $100,000 in my business? And I say, would I trust Lim with my life? Yeah, I would. Would I trust Lim with my wife? Yeah, I would. If I were in the Holocaust and I'm a Holocaust survivor and I ran to Lim's door and rang the doorbell, would Lim let me in? Would he risk his safety and his future to let me in? Lim is that type of person. Yes, here's the 100,000. Those are questions I learned. So as Lim mentioned, it's very important to constantly learn. And here's the one thing, Lim, that I would tell you. I think insurance companies, financial companies, this is just my opinion, they're really good at teaching agents how to sell, but they don't teach agents or advisors how to teach. They don't teach agents or advisors how to teach. I go to a lot of training. I went to this one company's training session. I hear one of the agency director talking, and I was like, this agency director is only teaching their agents how to sell. They're not teaching them how to teach, educate. I think the world that we live in today is different from the world that we lived in 30 years ago. Even sometimes I go to an MDRT meeting and I see a speaker talk, they're teaching people how to sell, right? But today, I don't know, a lot of people don't want to be sold to. A lot of people want to be taught to. So it's very important that we change our dynamics on how to work with people. So that's very important.
Yep. Let's pick up one or two more questions and we shall end the show, right? Before we end the show, we just like to show you Rick's new TikTok account. Did I did a good introduction, Rick? So if you guys like Rick's to do a TikTok account, can you just show some likes and say congratulations and all that? And we're going to show you Rick's new TikTok video, right?
And Lim, before you show it, I do want to mention, earlier this year, when we started this year, I told everyone on the Gratitude TalkShow that every year I challenge myself out of my comfort zone to do better. And I've told people that I'm not good at social media, I'm not good at marketing, but there is a need. The knowledge and the gift we have to teach. So the last 9 months this year, I've done so many videos, so much content, so much editing. Finally, I found a company that I really like. And starting, I think, next month, I'm launching an Instagram account and a TikTok account, which I'm not managing, they're managing for me, that the purpose is just giving really, really good content. I think today there's too much negativity in the news, too much negativity in the media. I want to give people real life advice. So yeah, Lim, you could show them one of the videos. It's going to launch next week, so you guys can sneak peek.
I'm going to share screen to all of you guys that you guys can see this, okay? So let's go.
Have you ever heard of Michael Jordan, the comedian, Tiger Woods, the chef, or Bill Gates, the artist? No, they don't exist. In life, too many people tell us to focus on what we're bad at, get better. That's bad advice. Or even worse, you're good at something, get comfortable, stay there. The reason why I mentioned Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Bill Gates, because they focused on their superpower, what they're the best at. Find your superpower and unleash your talent.
Wow, that's Rick's new TikTok video. Let us show you another one, right? Okay, if you guys love it, can you give us a thumbs up or say yes? You know, let us know that you like Rick's video, okay? I'm not gonna tell you where to find it yet. Rick's gonna tell you. Okay, we're gonna show you the second video. Let's see how many people likes your video, right? Wow, hi Rick, thanks for sharing. Congratulations. Now, the show is not over yet. We're gonna still answer one or two questions, so hang on there, right? So we're gonna show Rick's second video, right? Rick, you ready? Okay, let's go.
Goals are just dreams with a deadline. Are you dreaming or are you executing? Most people throughout their entire life are setting goals. But the problem is, they're not setting goals for themselves. How often are we told what our goals should be? Many of our goals are defined by the people we love and trust. Get married at this age, start a family, buy a home, live a life for others. My message is for all of you to live a life for yourself. I think it's really important for all of us to ask ourselves, in life, our goals, what is career goals, personal goals, life goals, financial goals, is it truly defining who we are and what we want? Now, another problem people have is when they set goals, it's really just dreams. They tell people publicly what their goals are when in fact they have no game plan on executing it. So it's just a dream. Now what a true goal is a dream with a deadline. Set goals that are audacious. Set goals that are exciting. Set goals that are yours. And set a deadline and execute.
You know, in Malaysia, we call it banyak garang. You know, the video looks amazing, right? So thank you, Rick, for sharing us. Rick's, your TikTok video is going to go live when?
I believe next week. The media company, I've actually recorded over 30 videos already. They're just editing it, and then they're going to launch it. The purpose of these videos is just positive advice, mindset, and to give value. It's just a way of helping the community and just helping us all think about life differently.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for doing this. All right. So let us just do this. Let me give you the best reply. Is Kim Fang say, "Wow." So let's just answer the last 2 questions, and we go on for this. All right. I'm going to take this, MJ. I'm just going to take it. How do you answer when the clients ask about an experience background? How many years you've been doing this? And what you do. Recently, I learned a very good self-introduction way for the Asian market to answer it very clearly and very nicely. So I learned it from this court of the table member. He says, when I introduce myself, I always tell my friends, or take example, a prospect clients. When a person say, "What do you do?" He will say, "I help my clients to settle their big problems, to settle their small problems, and to settle their no problems." So people get curious, what do you mean? And he says, "I'm in the insurance business. If you have big problems like death, disability, or cancer in the family, I'm the guy that you must look for. I'm the guy that will solve your problems. If your family has small problems, hospitalizations, accidents, that you need medical treatment and medical care, I'm the guy that will settle this problem for you. If you have no problem, you want to live a long life and you retire and you live well, I'm the guy that's going to give you the retirement fund and let you live a well, look after retirement life." So I thought his way of introducing himself is pretty cool, pretty unique, you know, for the Asian market, and pretty effective as well. So that is something I copied from another person recently. How I introduce myself with business clients, when they say, "What is your background?" I will tell them, "I'm in the business for 20 years, you know. I'm a registered financial planner, and I'm also a lifetime MDRT member. But however, I do best in taking care of families like yours, businesses like yours, in any circumstances." So that's how I introduce myself. But yet again, I think that is to create the first impression. And after that, it's about customer service, you know, the person-to-person relationship and all that. Rick, would you like to add on for that?
Yeah, and this is why we are so different. And this is why I love this show. Now, when you're reading MJ's question, Lim, the way you answered his question would have been, I don't think he's asking it the way you're asking. I don't know about MJ, because your earlier question, you said, "What if I'm a new agent?" I think what MJ is asking, and I might be completely wrong, MJ is saying, how do you answer when his clients ask him, "How many years you been doing this? What's your background?" And I'm assuming, MJ, you get that a lot because you're new and people are asking you about your credibility. Now, if they're asking you, the very most important answer is tell them the truth, right? Don't kind of sugarcoat it. Don't say, if you've been here for only a year, don't say, "I've been in life 30 years, right? And then they find out that you're a new agent. So it's always about saying, "I've been doing this for a year," right? But here's the thing, MJ, I don't really even get these questions anymore. You're wondering why Rick, because I will tell you this, when I do my first conversation with a client, whether it's over the phone or when I used to meet people face to face, remember, if you want to ask me, I don't really do in-person meetings anymore. But when I meet people face to face, do you know how many clients ask me how long I've been doing this? Very few, if any. You're like, "Rick, how come they don't ask you because I don't need to tell them how many years I've been doing this. They could sense and feel how many years I've been doing it. They could tell that. Look, just think about it. I just did that presentation about working with business owners. Do you think I did it in a way where I look like I did it for the first time? No, I come off like someone super experienced. In fact, generally, normally, I meet someone over the phone, and my first call is usually an intro call, 10, 15 minutes, to determine if Lim and I should or should not work together. So I get referred to business owners, and I say, well, before Lim, you and I deep dive into a discovery fact finder, why don't you talk to my associate, get on our calendar, and we do a 10, 15-minute intro call to determine if it makes sense for us to actually have any type of deep dive conversation. And then in that 15-minute, I ask Lim questions. If he has no areas that I can problem solve for him, then I don't want to do a fact finder. But 9 out of 10 times, if not more often than not, they sense in that 15-minute, oh, they want to meet me, they want to work with me. And then that 90-minute call, I usually also do over phone, and I ask them really good questions. I teach them a lot of information, and they find so much value. And then my second meeting, like a deep, long meeting, is a Zoom. You know what oftentimes I get? When I turn on my camera and they see my face, their eyes kind of get big. Their eyes get big, I think, is because they're surprised of how I look. Now, when they're surprised at how I look, you know what they ask me? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I was like, why? He's like, when I talk to you on the phone, you sound like someone that's been doing this for 50 years. But when I see you in the face, you look like a little boy. I'm so surprised. So MJ, the reason why your clients are asking you about your experience, your background, how many years you've been doing it, is because the way you're talking or the way you present yourself is a lack of credibility, a lack of credibility. So I will tell you this, and this used to happen to me when I was a new advisor. I actually maybe walk with lack of confidence. I might not be dressed a certain way. My hair might be sloppy, or I just ask bad questions and I talk a certain way where make people don't feel confident in me. So if I'm not confident myself and they're not confident in me, then they say, how many years have you been doing this? What's your experience? They ask that because it's a distrusting question. People don't ask me this because when they meet me, they already know my experience or the way I carry myself, the way I talk is helpful. I'll give you another example. I recently am coaching an advisor one-on-one. He asked me this question. He said, Rick, you know, I want to work with some of my closest friends and family members, but I realize they don't want to work with me. Can you tell me why that is the case? And I said, I exactly know why. And he's like, well, what do you mean? So in 5 minutes, I Google searched him. I found his Instagram. I found his Facebook. I found his social media. And you know what there were? There were pictures of him partying. The way he carries himself on social media would make me not want to work with him if I was a client or if I was a family member. And I said, and this advisor has been working in our industry for a very long time. And he was like, I don't know why my friends and my family don't trust me. I said, it's not that they don't trust you today. They only remember you of the version you show maybe 5, 10 years ago. Remember, there's a saying that says it takes 10 years to build a brand and credibility. It takes 10 minutes to break the brand. Okay, so for all of you that are watching, when you are normally socializing in a friend circle, a family circle, or in a professional setting, would you be proud of the way you are acting? How you present yourself will make people be confident or not confident in you. So MJ, I don't know you, but when you ask this question, if too many people ask you that, is probably because you're presenting yourself in a way that can be improved on. Because if you come in, I'm just giving an example, you can tell, like when a person walks in a room, if they have that powerful energy. If you have that powerful energy, no one will ask you that. Because in fact, when they ask you, they're probably embarrassed to ask you, but it's all how you carry yourself. I don't know if that's helpful. Thank you, Rick. That is a different answer altogether. It's okay. That's where the show gets interesting, right? So let's just answer the last 2 questions. This is a long one. I'm going to take this, Rick, because this is more of Malaysian, but I'm going to let you see whether it's relevant to you. So this guy is asking this. In Malaysia, right? Let me just put you on, right? Sorry, Rick. In Malaysia, most insurance agents are familiar with Keyman Insurance, mean the policy insured
to a certain key person in the company. Now, once the insured pass away in the company, they'll get a compensation. In Malaysia, it will be considered as an income. 20% tax will be imposed by the in Revenue Board. Is this normal industry? So let me answer this. This is, let me just take this away. Let's get it off. So let me answer you, Muhammad Salmi. The question is this. If you buy a Keyman policy, in Malaysia, there's very strict law on what kind of policy you can buy as a Keyman. Okay? Under the IRB law, under the Inland Revenue Board is what you call in America, it's called the IRD, right? It's still called the Inland Revenue Department, right? So income tax. Under the income tax law is this. If you buy a life insurance with a cash value, it cannot be charged to the company. It cannot charge the company as tax expenses. Nothing. You cannot charge it as tax expenses. If you have to buy a term life, a yearly renewal term, 5-year term or 20-year term, and the beneficiary must be, not say the beneficiary, the owner of the policy must be the company. So that's the rule, number one. Number two, if you buy a policy with cash value, if the owner of the policy is the insured, means the director or the owner of the company, this policy, even though you use the company's money to pay for it, it will add back as the company's payment in kind. Tax will be imposed on that person. Number three, if you manage to buy a term life policy as a Keyman policy by the company for the key person, means the company pay for it, and your company can use this expense as tax exemption. The money, when the compensation pays back, the person dies, when the claims comes back to the company, it is treated as a revenue, and you're charged with 20% tax on that revenue. So my solution to this is this. If the company is a business owner and he owns the business entirely, buys a policy put under his name, let the company pays for him, but benefit in kind, he pays a tax, say 20% tax on the premium. The premium is small, but I have to remind you, when the claim is done, when he passes away, when the money comes back to his family, the money becomes tax-free because it's his personal policy. You want to pay 20% tax on the premium because the premium is small. You do not want to pay 20% tax on the claims because the claim is huge. All right? So my way of doing Keyman Insurance, if the person is a sole owner or a partnership owner, which they can actually talk to each other and solve this issue, sell individual policy with cash value, they will take that policy much better. If the company is a listed company or a company with a lot of business owners, they can't come to terms, then you must sell terms policy with no cash value. Then the money can be exempted from tax. All right? So that's my thing for you. Is this normal industry? It is normal. It is the law. You must follow the rule. What is the penalty if you do not follow the rule? If you advise the client and tell them, wow, you can buy a saving plan with the company. No problem, boss, no problem. You can just buy a saving plan and put under your name, the company pay taxes with it and run away the taxes with it. I tell you, when Inland Revenue Board knows about it, they're going to recall all the taxes that you're not paying and fine you 30% on top of it. I'll give you an example. In Penang, there's one guy who misled and oversold the company on this basis. The client pays 400,000 premiums every year for the next 10 years. On a 6th year, 2.4 million premium is paid. On the 6th year, income tax came and audited the account. They paid 2.4 million of premium without paying income tax, which is supposed to be a benefit in kind. The guy is supposed to pay a 20% tax. He did not pay. You know what happened? Income tax charged him that 24% he did not pay on that 2.4 million and slap him with another 30%, what do you call this, fine. You know how much that comes to? That comes to about 1.2 million in fines. You do not want to be that agent, you know, answering that question. You will get slapped by the client. All right? So do not give bad advice. It can be very, very bad. Okay? Right. So is this normal in America, Rick? Is it the same?
This is not like a required benefit, but there's a lot of similarities. So when we set up like Keyman policies, yes, the business is the owner. Now there are, in my opinion, there are 3 reasons why a business owner would set this up for their key employee. Number 1 is they have a member. Let's just say, if Lim, you are in my company, is Lim a very talented, value key member? That if Lim passes away, would it hurt my business? Of course, he's my top person in my company. Then number 1, I'm doing it to protect me at the risk level if God forbid something happens to Lim. Number 2 reason why I would do it is because I would set this up for Lim to not only benefit me, it will benefit him. Why? Because if there's cash value in there, I say, Lim, if you stay with me for 10 years or 20 years, this policy, I will transfer the ownership from the company to you. That $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million in cash value is your and your family's retirement plan. So number 2, I would do it for my business to minimize risk. Number 2, I would do it for Lim to reward Lim and to retain Lim and to so that Lim never wants to leave me. And number 3, it's good for the books of the business. It's an asset on the business balance sheet. Remember, term insurance is not an asset, but permanent insurance, it's an asset. So therefore, if I'm the owner of the policy, and let's say 3 years from now, there's $250,000 in cash value, but I need liquidity for whatever reason, and Lim leaves me within 10 years, I at least could get that money and use it to hire another employee, or I could use it to expand my company. So 1 is to protect the business. 2 is to reward and retain their employees. And number 3, it's an asset on the balance sheet to build my company's valuation. So there are many win-win-win reasons.
So let's do the, thank you, Rick, for the amazing question. It's different, but yet the same, right? Thank you, Rick. I never thought of being an asset. Thanks for the, I should use that. You know.
It's an asset.
Yeah.
Permanent insurance is an asset on your balance sheet.
Yep. So let's just do this. The last one. Some business owners say they have been dealing with the existing trusted planner and buying a plan from insurance A and B in some way. How do you handle that? Rick, you want to take that?
So I truly believe every company has various different value proposition, and every company, if you think about it, in our industry, as I've done so much research, it's almost like every insurance financial company, they have very similar products, very similar value proposition, very similar goals and solutions for your clients. But Sally, I promise you, it's not comparing company A versus company B. It's comparing you to their trusted advisor. You to their trusted advisor. I did a presentation for a financial company recently. It's how to compete against the competition. So number 1, I know it's very different in Malaysia. So one time I went into a competition and this business owner said, I have a trusted advisor that I've been working with many years. I said, I'm not here to replace relationship. But after an hour of talking to me, I saw the business owner eyes. The business owner realizes their trusted advisor on a scale. And I said this in Malaysia's MDRT, there are many different professionals. There are rookies, right? There are like college basketball players. Then there's NBA players. Then there's all-star, and there are legends. I can tell by this business owner talking to me, he or she may be working with an all-star, but they realize that my level is even higher. Then they said, well, I want you to analyze it. You're explaining these better than my trusted planner is. So then I say, sure, I'm very knowledgeable about products. So I analyze and explained it, almost every single line item, every page, and I summarized it. They're like, oh my God, the trusted planner only told me the good things about this, but did not tell me the good and bad things. And I was like, that's like most salespeople. And after explaining everything, they said, what should I do? Should I replace it? I said, no, you should keep it because you did this insurance policy 20 years ago. The rate today is much more expensive than 20 years ago. And you know what they said to me? But can you service it for me? And I said, yes, I can service it. So option 1 is, I think most people think really small. They replace A to go to B. No, sometimes it may make more sense. Remember, a trusted advisor would tell them the truth as a fiduciary. Stay there. But what I explained to them, you did a $500,000 policy 20 years ago when your mortgage was this. isn't it true that you told me that you have multiple real estate and now you have a 5 million death benefit need? And you're right. So instead of replacing the 500,000, I kept it the same, but I was able to help problem solve another need. So we applied for 4.5 million of a new policy. Then I said, do we want to go back to insurance company A or go to BCD? And I said, well, before I tell you, because I can actually, so I'm not only with one company. I know in Malaysia, you're one company, but I said, I can go back to company A, but here's other company optionality. If you want to go back to company A, I can do it for you. Or if you want to go BCD, here's the reasons why my clients choose those companies over that. So guess what? I serviced the first company A. Then I fulfilled the need of the other 4.5 million, and I came with company B. And not only did I do the insurance, I did the investments, I did the healthcare, I did the retirement, I did the college education. Because here's the problem. Your trusted planner only specializes in insurance. That's why I teach everyone in the audience, don't just be a one-trick pony, be a master in everything. I don't even need you to be master of everything. Just be good enough in everything else. Even a one person that's master of one thing, but if you're good enough in everything else and you could bring value, Sally, you can replace anyone. So we are not unique by the company we represent. We are unique by who we are and the problems we solve for our clients.
Thank you, Rick. So we're going to end the show. I said 1 hour. It went on 1.5 hours. Thank you, Rick. You did a fantastic job of sharing the 20 minutes, sharing with us how to deal with the business owners. I think your session needs like an hour to explain. It's not 20 minutes, right? So
that was not a 20-minute session. I actually spent almost an hour presenting what I just presented. That's why when you said 20 minutes, my heart rate went up. And I said, I'm going to try to do something I usually do in 60 minutes and 20, which is why I went a little faster. Yeah. Next time, if I have more time, I can do it for the audience.
So share, send us some love. It's 10 o'clock. Let's let Rick goes back to his family and start his work day. It's 10 o'clock in the morning in America. So we're going to end with Rick's video. And Rick, say bye to everybody and thank you for coming to the show.
Have a wonderful weekend and have a great month. Bye, guys.
See you
next month.
Have you ever heard of Michael Jordan, the comedian, Tiger Woods, the chef, or Bill Gates, the artist? No, they don't exist. In life, too many people tell us to focus on what we're bad at, get better. That's bad advice. Or even worse, you're good at something, get comfortable, stay there. The reason why I mentioned Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Bill Gates, because they focused on their superpower, what they're the best at. Find your superpower and unleash your talent.